Hey, good morning, good people. It is Dan here, your urban treasure hunter. And in this short video, we're going to talk about how to make money on Craigslist as an estate liquidator. So I'm on my way right now to go pick up some stuff in an apartment that I purchased yesterday. I got a call from these people just a couple of days ago, and I finally met with them yesterday. Today's Thursday, May 30th. They need to have the stuff cleared out of the apartment by tomorrow, May 31st, the last day of the month. So they left themselves very little time to deal with this apartment full of furniture, which makes them a very motivated seller. They need to sell this stuff. So I met with them yesterday, and we struck a deal. I offered them, it's decent stuff. I'll show it to you in just a minute, but it's nothing that I would really go crazy for if I wasn't able to get it at the right price. So knowing that they were very motivated sellers, I'm buying all the stuff for only $100. Well, actually $120. I included an additional $20 because I didn't want to make my offer so completely insulting. They were hoping to get a lot more for it, but again, it wasn't stuff that I really would go crazy for, and they're very motivated, so I think my offer was, very generous. Anyway, I'm going back there right now to go and pick the stuff up. So I want to talk to you a little bit about selling these kinds of items on Craigslist, but before I do, I want to make a very important point. These people, like I said, they need to sell. And when you're an estate liquidator or you go to meet with people to buy their items, collections, personal property, whatever, you're only going to get really good deals from people who need to sell. Last week I met with an elderly couple who's getting ready to move to Florida, and they're getting their house ready to put on the market. It's not on the market yet, but what they're doing is selling off the contents of the house to get it ready. So those folks, they wanted to sell, they didn't need to sell. So I met with them last week and was not able to strike a deal with them. They were asking too much for their stuff, not nearly enough meat on the bone for me to make a profit on. So I walked away, not being able to do anything with them. So there is a huge difference between people who need to sell and people who merely want to sell. And it's very important that when you go on these estate liquidation treasure hunts that you do not go as a motivated buyer. Because if you meet somebody who wants to sell and you are a motivated buyer, you are most certainly going to lose money on whatever it is you pick up from them. So that was my little tip on working with people who have estates that they are looking to liquidate. But anyhow, I'm going to be getting to this apartment in about another 15 minutes. I'll get the camera rolling again and show you some of the things that I picked up. And then we'll talk the actual liquidation part. So stick with me. So here's the apartment. Here's the stuff that I purchased for $120. The piece I really like is this this mid-century storage cabinet here. It's in really nice shape. This little table, that's okay. I've got these two mahogany end tables with a leaf that folds up, and it's got a little utility drawer with a leather top. There's two of those, one right there, one right there. Nice piece is this old couch. What's really special about this couch is that the frame is all hardwood, probably mahogany and hand carved. There's got to be a buyer for that. Then over in this room is this nice little mid-century dressing chair and that little mid-century table. Otherwise, these items maybe just giveaway pieces or just dump them real cheap on Craigslist. And then, I have my share of furniture. This right here, this little, single bed frame, that is going to be furniture. And what is furniture, you may ask? Well, after a piece of furniture loses its usefulness, it goes on the campfire wood pile. So it goes from being furniture, it then becomes furniture. And I come across an awful lot of that. So let me start getting this stuff out of here into my trailer. And stick with me, because then I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk all about how to liquidate these items on Craigslist. Okay, so stick with me. All right, so here it is a day or two later, and I have a number of these items already listed on Craig's. I use eBay extensively for the small things that are easily put into boxes that I can, ship wherever around the country, around the world. But for these bigger items, the tables, the curio cabinets, couch, that kind of thing, I liquidate those extensively on Craigslist. Now, every time I do sell something like that on Craigs, I maintain a buyer's list. And I ask the person if they're actively looking for that kind of item. That way, when I bring something like that in, I could proactively contact that person and let them know, hey, I have something here in my inventory that I think you'd be interested in. I also work with a couple of antiques dealers in the city, and I just recently connected with an interior designer who has an established book of clients who, the things I bring in, her clients may be interested in purchasing, or she'll purchase it on their behalf if she's doing a design project. So that's a really good connection too. Now, what I want to urge to you, though, is that you have to bring in these items as cheaply as possible so that you can sell them as quickly as possible. So if you bring something in and you've paid too much for it, and now you're in a position to charge a premium retail price, you're going to be sitting on that item. You're most likely going to be sitting on that item for an extended period of time before you find a buyer for that premium price. Now you can see I got all of that stuff in that apartment for $120, and I actually have somebody coming tonight who's going to buy that couch for $160. So monetarily, there is my little bit better than break-even point, and I still have all that other stuff to liquidate, and I will. It'll all go. Again, it's only a couple days later here. So make sure that you go to these estate liquidations, or you do your other types of buying activities with people who need to sell, not want to sell, because those who want to sell, you're probably going to be paying a higher price for, and that means that you're going to be stuck with that item longer before you're able to find a buyer. And you don't want that. You don't want things sitting around collecting dust, getting in your way. You want to bring stuff in, be able to move it out, sell it relatively quickly. High inventory turnover. That's the key to making a couple of bucks in this business. Now, there's some real advantages to selling on Craigslist. The number one advantage is it is free. The number two advantage, to me at least, is that you're selling to a local buyer, which means that the overwhelming majority, I'd say 98, 99% of the sales that you make on Craigs are for cash. Cash is king. So when you list on Craigs, it costs you nothing. When you sell on Craigs, you're not sharing, you're not paying Craigs any kind of a final valuation or anything like on eBay. So it's a cash sale. Now, the downsides of Craigs is that there are a lot of bottom feeders on Craigs. It doesn't matter hardly ever what you list something, what price you list something at on Craigslist. The buyer's going to come along and always offer you something less than what you list it for, which is fine because everything in this business is negotiable. So you list something for a little bit more than what you would be willing to take. Let the person bang you down to what it is you actually want, and both sides are happy. They think that they got a bargain, and you got the price that you were looking for. Another major downside to selling on Craigslist is that there are an awful lot of con artists who try to rip off unsuspecting sellers. You really need to be well versed in how to spot these cons to make sure that you are protecting yourself from any sort of potential theft. And the scams that are used on Craigslist to try to rob or rip off an unsuspecting seller can be anything from trying to get you to fork over your actual email address, your personal email address, to try to get you to send a text message to some phone number that is doing nothing more than farming your phone number so that you can, you'll get bombarded with bullshit text messages and text solicitations. There's the classic fake money order scam that is prolific on Craigslist. My email inbox is loaded up daily with emails from fake buyers who are just essentially scumbags trying to farm for email addresses, cell phone numbers, or to send you, fake money orders. There's all sorts of scams that a fake buyer on Craig's can use to try to rip you off. But Anyway, what I've done is I put together a free report that a whole section is dedicated to how to identify the scumbags so that you can protect yourself from getting ripped off. Another important thing I want to mention about selling on Craigslist is I do everything under my business handle, Tri-State Treasure Hunt. But if you go to New York City area Craigslist and search for Tri-State Treasure Hunt, you will see all of my listings come up. Click on any one of the links, from that search result, Tri-State Treasure Hunt, and you'll see the way I structure my listing. And in the free report I just told you about, I give away a template that you can use so that you can structure your listings on Craigslist the same exact way I do it. It's proven to be very efficient and very effective. So if you want that free report, all you need to do is visit my website, and I will give you that link in just a minute. And other than that, my name is Dan. I hope I've said something that provided you with some value in this video. If I have, then please like this video, maybe share it with your colleagues, and certainly if you're not currently a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. And that's it for now. I am out, and I'll talk to you guys soon.